What is up, everyone? I've got 3 things for you guys. No, that's wrong. I've got 4 things for you guys. 1, this week is Mental Health Awareness Week, and as someone who has been depressed a few times, the most recent and probably the biggest one I've ever gone through is when I retired from playing because I didn't know what to do and I felt a little lost. So don't ever be ashamed of feeling down. It happens to everyone, including me, who spreads the gospel of happiness on the regular, or at least I try to. So go talk, go share. Find someone that is willing to listen and not just insert their own perspective into every part of the conversation. Somebody that can listen, or go to a therapist. I've gone to therapy multiple times and therapy rules. Just don't keep it in. I think that's the crux of the message. Don't keep it in. 2, in an effort to have my young daughters watch my videos, I'm going to switch the shortlist from sheets and hits to hits and misses because I want to make it more palatable for impressionable minds. I hope you'll understand. 3, I'm also going to switch the order of events. So before it was hits and misses and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And now I'm just gonna do all the bad stuff first and all the good stuff second. And finally, number 4, let's take a look at how I did with my predictions from Friday. So Mike K, roll that graphic. Okay, up first, it's Arsenal versus Manchester United. And yes, I said 2 goals were gonna be scored and 2 goals were scored. And then there's Barcelona versus Villarreal. I said 4-1 and it ended 4-1. Genius alert. And then we have AC Milan versus Roma. I said 2-1 to Roma and Roma won. And it was definitely 2-1 at some point during that game. So I think that's a big win for me. And finally, Dortmund versus Hoffenheim. I said that Dortmund would win by a goal and they won by a goal. So in summation, I nailed all of my predictions from this past weekend. But enough of that nonsense. Let's get to the hits and misses, starting with Brighton, Besiktas, and Feyenoord. Because you all had one job. Get a win this weekend to become champions of your respective leagues. And Brighton, you gave up a late goal to Aston Villa, who only had 10 men on the field to hand the title over to my beloved Newcastle. Ahoy the lads! And for that, I want to say thank you very much. It feels good to feel good about my team. And now I have to go to St. James's Park next season. Hopefully Rich Beck and True Jordy and Will and E will come with me and we'll be the fearsome foursome and it'll be awesome. And then I can go say hi to you guys and do like a pickup game and just, you know, all these fun things. And yeah, I got to do that without Sunderland there. And Besiktas, you gave up an own goal in injury time to draw 1-1 with one of your biggest rivals, Fenerbahce. But they only had 9 men on the field. 9 men. How are they even around your goal at that point in the game? I just don't understand. You've got 2 more guys on the field. Just go crowd the ball, foul them, do whatever you have to do to get the full 3 points. And you couldn't get it done. And now your lead is cut to 2 points with 4 games to go. And Feyenoord, what the f***? If you would have won against the 13th best team in the Eredivisie, you would have won the league, and you bottled it in a big way, 3-0. You didn't even show up, and now you have a 1-point lead over Ajax with 1 game to go, which is eerily similar to what happened last season when Ajax were up by 1 point over PSV with 1 game to go, and they lost, and PSV won the league. So maybe they're gonna do it this time. Maybe Ajax is gonna do to you guys, Feyenoord, what PSV did to them, and get total redemption. Or not. And number 4 on the miss list is Sporting Clube de Portugal and FC Porto. Do you guys even care anymore, Sporting with your 3-1 loss at home to Belenenses? Unacceptable. And Porto giving up a 1-0 lead against Marítimo to draw 1-1? Unacceptable, which now hands Benfica their 4th straight league title. Almost. I mean, it's almost done. They have a 5-point lead with 2 games to go, and since you 2 can't win a big game, this one is over, baby. It is done. So congrats to Benfica. Again. And number 3 on the miss list, it's Hertha Berlin. The German club that had really surprised a lot of people, myself included, for the first half of the Bundesliga season, have been absolute scheisse since the winter break, winning only 5 out of their last 16 league games. And with their loss at home this weekend to RB Leipzig, coupled with Freiburg winning to jump over them into 5th, they are in 6th, only 1 point ahead of FC Cologne and Werder Bremen with 2 games to go. And I guarantee, 100% stamp it, that they will not get into Europe. They're going to have nothing to show for their season. And that is sad. And number 2 on the miss list, it's Roma manager Luca Spalletti. So I was going to spend some time here talking about both Milan clubs and how they're playing poorly again, and wondering aloud as to whether they're ever going to regain their former glory. But then Roma's manager Luca Spalletti decided not to sub in Francesco Totti when Roma took a 3-1 lead over AC Milan with 12 minutes left to go in Totti's last ever appearance at the San Siro, which got Milan fans fired up, which got Roma fans fired up, and now it's getting me fired up because what the f? This isn't just some player that played for your club for a long time. This player is the club, and he made it what it is today. So show him some respect and let him run around for 10 minutes, you fucking asshole. And number 1 on the miss list, it's Tottenham. And not because I think they bottled it in their 1-0 loss on the road against a very inspired West Ham, who actually looked up to play a game for once, so congratulations to them, but because they missed out on another chance to quiet the haters who love nothing more than seeing Spurs eat a fat one. Before the season, if you would have told any of Spurs' players or coaching staff or supporters that after 35 games they'd have 77 points, they would have scored 71 goals and only given up 23, that they had already qualified for the Champions League and finished above Arsenal for the first time in 22 years, they all would have been like, yes, that sounds like the most amazing season of all time. But yet, despite doing all of that, they continue to get battered by everyone for not doing more. So if they want to shake this perception of being failures or bottlers or whatever the popular phrase is, they have to win something, and that's why they're number 1 on this list. Because with this loss, winning the league, though not mathematically impossible, seems pretty unlikely. And now let's get to the hit list, starting with number 5, CJ Sepang. For the first time in 252 days, 252 motherfucking days, Philadelphia Union won a game in Major League Soccer, and it was all thanks to Sepang, who scored 3 goals in an 11-minute span to break Philly's duck this season. Quack, 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 quack. And maybe even better, they can't be called the worst team in the league anymore, because that honor goes to the Colorado Rapids, who only have 4 points in 8 games. And number 4 on the hit list, it's Sydney FC. With the oldest starting 11 in the A-League this season, Sydney set a record for the most regular season wins, most points, most clean sheets, and the least goals conceded. And they came back from 1-0 down 3 different times against the second best team in the league, the Melbourne Victory, including this past weekend in the grand final, which saw them win in penalties to become champions. So congratulations to Sydney FC. That was a tremendous season, mates. Throw another shrimp on the barbie. And number 3 on the hit list, it's Morelia. Listen, I said this game was gonna be loco, and it was loco. Morelia not only needed to win and get some help to hope to get into the playoffs, they also needed to win to not get relegated. Yeah, I know that sounds crazy that you can either make the playoffs or get relegated, but in Liga MX, only 1 team gets relegated per season, and it's the team with the worst record over a 3-year span, which I'm pretty sure they put into place to protect the bigger clubs from going down after 1 bad season. Anyway, Morelia went up 1-0 over second place Monterrey on the road, which was very impressive in and itself, but then they gave up a penalty in the 85th minute to draw 1-1, and I thought it was all done and dusted. They weren't going to make the playoffs, they were going to get relegated, but then they scored the winner in the 92nd minute to make the playoffs because Club America took a huge mierda at the end of the season, so they are out and their manager resigned. It's crazy, loco as I like to say, and then Morelia did not get relegated, which has me going, Dios mío! And number 2 on the hit list, it's Real Madrid's B squad. Say what you want about the importance of Cristiano Ronaldo and Marcelo to Real Madrid's success this season, but from my experience, you can't win anything of consequence without having a strong bench. And with Barcelona and Atletico Madrid winning earlier in the day, it was up to Real Madrid's incredibly talented but probably underused B squad to get the full 3 points, and they delivered in spectacular fashion, scoring 4 goals in the first 35 minutes against Granada, which ended up being a 4-0 win. So for that performance, and for the manager who had the warm balls to make 9 changes to his normal starting lineup with La Liga title hopes riding on it, well, that deserves our respect. And number 1 on the hit list, it's Ander Herrera's back. Because without Herrera's back scoring a great looping goal over the outstretched hands of his Manchester United teammate David De Gea, Arsenal's manager Arsene Wenger would not have registered his first ever league victory over Jose Mourinho, which now gives the Gunners a good shot at qualifying for the Europa League since they are 2 points behind 5th place United with a game in hand. So way to go, Ander Herrera's back. Arsenal fans are gonna love you for a long time. All right, that's it. That is all I got except for this. Go support Adrian at Rabona TV. Go subscribe to his channel. I'll put the link in the description below. And if you're selling merch, you should get this. This is a really cool sweater. Also, career mode is dropping tomorrow. You're welcome. And then May 14th is inching closer. We are 6 days away. It is all happening. It is all going down. And I'll give you more of a tease on Wednesday. You're gonna have to wait 2 more days for that because that's how I roll. Later.